Now, remember when she was on, what was she? Was she on one of the TV programs where she said, I am going to be the nominee? Was it CNN? I am, moi, me. I am going to be the nominee. Bernie Sanders can go pound sand, so to speak. Really? The San Francisco Chronicle had offered to co-host the debate in California, and the newspaper described Clinton's decision as a broken promise. While a spokesgeek for Fox News, which had hoped to produce the event, said the network was, quote, disappointed that Secretary Clinton has declined our debate invitation, especially given that the race is still contested and she had previously agreed to a final debate before the California primary, end quote. Now, Clinton, and this is what, I live with Kathy, I really do, and this is what's pissed her off the most. By claiming that the nominating process, Clinton claiming the process was already done and she's to be the nominee. As Kathy shrieked at me the other day, that means voters in California, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Dakota, and South Dakota don't matter. Don't matter at all. You people don't matter. I am going to be the nominee. I think that pissed you off the most, didn't it? you, oh my God. It's been a lot of fun living with you the past couple of months. I swear to God. In response to all this bullshit coming from Jennifer, Sanders issued a statement saying he was, quote, disappointed but not surprised by Secretary Clinton's unwillingness to debate before the largest primary and most important primary in the presidential nominating process, end quote. Sanders went on, quote, the state of California and the United States face some enormous crises. Democracy and respect for the voters of California would suggest that there should be a vigorous debate, yada, 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 yada. And I hope Secretary Clinton reconsiders. And after he issued that statement during a rally at a high school in Southern California, Sanders went further by calling Clinton's refusal to debate an affront to California voters. It's a slap in the face. He said to thousands of people during a rally at Santa Monica High School, thousands of people, he said, quote, I think it's a little insulting to the people of California, the largest state. She's not prepared to have a discussion with me about how she is going to help California address the major crises we face. And according to that Los Angeles Times, the crowd responded by chanting, she's scared, she's scared, she's scared. Woo-hoo! Now, for his part, Sanders suggested to the crowd that Clinton might be getting, quote, a little nervous, end quote, about how the primary race is going to conclude. This is after his recent string of wins and Clinton's slippage, I love that word, Clinton's slippage in the national polls where it concerns this pig fucker, Donald Trump. Did I say that? I'm sorry. This terrible man, Donald Trump. I got to watch that. You know, every once in a while when I'm doing the podcast here, I think I'm talking to a bunch of friends. We're just sitting around drinking beer and wine and whiskey, and I'll say something like that. I'm sorry, I apologize. Anyway, he went on in his statement, Sanders did. He said, quote, Secretary Clinton may want to be not quite so presumptuous about thinking that she's a certain winner. In the last several weeks, the people of Indiana, West Virginia, and Oregon have suggested otherwise, end quote. So I didn't realize this earlier today when all this occurred, that Mrs. Clinton has decided, no, I'm not going to debate Sanders. And why should she? I mean, from a political point of view and from the point of view of her tanking campaign, and I'm not saying necessarily it's tanking against Sanders, but it's tanking against Trump. Hillary Clinton is telling anybody who will stand still and listen to her, ha 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 ha, I'm going to be the nominee. And all the numbers are indicating if she is the nominee, the Democratic Party can say goodbye, well, not just to the presidency, but the Congress for probably the next 24 years. Yeah, that long, maybe 30 or 28. Because once Trump and the oligarchs in America get their, it'd be just like Putin. Once they get their claws into the electoral process, even more deeply than they have them now, with a jerk-off like Trump in the presidency, it's all over. This is something we've been talking about for years, you and me. We've been talking about this. What would happen when a true fascist finally got control? Well, ta-da! We're just a few baby steps away from that. Are you aware of that? Unless Hillary Clinton does the honorable thing and get the hell out of the way so that the one person who can defeat this troll can step up and defeat him. Because Mrs. Clinton is not going to do it. What does it take to get that idea across? You have two candidates, Clinton and Trump, with the most elevated negative numbers of any two people who ever ran for the presidency. Nobody likes either one of them. But the problem is the Trump voters are more fanatic and bloodthirsty than the Clinton voters. And if it comes down to Trump and Clinton, there's going to be an awful lot of people who would normally vote Democratic, but who cannot stand Hillary Clinton or her husband. And they will either stay home or they'll go vote for Trump. Either way, it takes enormous numbers of voters away from Hillary Clinton. Why doesn't she do the honorable, rational, decent thing and step down and declare her support for the one person who can become the next Democratic president